Hello there, Lunar Squadron. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have some very exciting LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga news to parse through. First of all, the rating for this game was released as to the Brazilian rating system. What does that mean for this game, and what state does a game have to be in order to receive a rating under the Brazilian advisory system? We will come to you with answers in just a moment. Also, multiple leaks claiming that LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga will be featuring at tomorrow, or now today's, Game Awards. What are the merits of these leaks? What are the backgrounds of these leakers? And should we ultimately expect any LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga news later on today? We will come at you guys with answers to all of these questions and more over the next few minutes. However, first, Nick's got an announcement for us, right?
Yep, I sure do. Thanks to the great response that we had for our Q&A giveaway, we want to expand. Now, if you had seen our previous Q&A video, you will know that we announced that we will be doing a part 2 very soon, and in this part 2 will be the chance to win a second LEGO set. So if you did not win the LEGO set in our previous giveaway, you have another chance. Now, just as a reminder, the way to win that LEGO set is very simple. All you have to do is 3 things. Like this video, leave a Q&A question, and subscribe to the channel. Now, I do want to say one thing because this has been coming up. If you have already left a Q&A question on one of our videos, you do not have to do it again. You do not have to repeat it. If you have left one, we will see it. So you don't have to worry about repeating yourself. We don't want you to waste your time doing that. If you've asked a question already, we got it. So don't worry about having to repeat yourself. We just don't want you to... We want to save you the trouble of having to do that. But before we jump into this video, I do have one question since we're on the topic of questions. And that question is for Bosk. Now, we talked about rating systems, so I'm kind of wondering, Bosk, what would you rate this on the Bosk rating system? Like, what are we talking about here? What is this game getting from you?
I have nothing to prove to you.
Wow, thanks Bosk for the rating. The Trandoshan rating system sounds very harsh. Nick, you ready to get in this one?
I'm a little scared now, but yeah. Wednesday morning, we were kind of hit with some shocking news in the LEGO Star Wars community as an article was released detailing the rating for LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga in the Brazilian market, on the Brazilian rating system. So, Andreas, I know you did a big deep dive into what does this mean. So, tell us, what did you find out? What does this rating mean for this game?
So, if you guys had read that report, you saw that the rating that was recorded for LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga is the 10 rating in the Brazilian advisory system. Now, the Brazilian system, which is referred to as Classind, it's kind of like the ESRB rating system that we have here in the United States. I say here in the United States because Nick and I are from the United States. Salute to everybody who watches us from abroad. We love hearing, comments from people across the pond. We had a few comments from Denmark and the UK. So, anyways, the rating for this game is the not recommended for minors under the age of 10 rating, which is the second highest rating in Brazil. As you can see right here, the rating system goes from L, 10, 12, 14, 16, and 18. Each rating allows for a more heightened level of 3 factors. The first being violence, the second is sex and nudity, and the third is drugs. Don't do drugs, kids.
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
I don't want to sell you death sticks.
You want to go home and rethink your life.
I want to go home and rethink my life.
The second rating, which is 10, is the one that LEGO Star Wars Skywalker Saga evidently has received. Now, what does this mean for the game? It means, as for violence, that there may be, it doesn't mean that there is, but it means that it allows for a display of arms with violence, which, I mean, is very clear. We've seen blasters being fired, lightsabers being swung, so it just makes sense. Fear and tension. We all know that we're going to be very tense during Order 66 in this game. Distress. We know Nick is going to be very distressed when I shoot him with the Death Star. And then bones and skeletons with signs of violent acts. We know that, there's at least going to be some of that at some point. And then criminal acts without violence. So as you guys know, Bosk committing Grand Theft Auto is going to be in this game. And then finally, derogatory language, which clearly refers to, Nerf herder and stuff like that. As for sex and nudity, only educational contents about sex. I'm not even going to make a joke about that. And then next, drugs, references to the use of legal drugs. Sorry, death stick pushers. You are not going to be able to have fun smuggling death sticks in this game. And discussion on the issue of drug trafficking is allowed, so you can talk about drug trafficking if it's about death sticks. And medicinal use of illegal drugs is allowed. So what is this going to mean for the game? Let your imaginations run wild here. The important thing about the Brazilian rating system is, what state does the game have to be in order to apply for a rating in the Brazilian advisory system? It's a very good question. So Nick and I went ahead and looked it up on the Minister of Justice website, on the gov.brazil website. We looked for the requirements to applying for a rating in Brazil, and it says that you either need to supply the Ministry of Justice with a copy of the game, so a full copy of the game, or a gameplay video with pertinent content to the rating. What do you think that means, Nick? Like, what does that mean for us?
To me, personally, that means that this game has to be in at least an advanced state of development in order to apply for this rating. They have to have a significant amount of content to show off to the rating board in Brazil to receive this rating. That's what it means to me. I don't know what it means to you.
Yeah, I think, that's a very fair assessment, because the Minister of Justice has to be able to, this is a panel of about 30 people in Brazil that come to this determination. There has to be enough content, which is stated as gameplay video, with pertinent content to the rating, meaning that they are expected to show off, the most vulgar, the most violent, the most sexual parts of the game. So in order for them to do that, they would have had to, flush out some substantive gameplay for this game and actually show some gameplay, or like it says, it also allows for the opportunity for somebody to supply a full copy of the game. Now, that does allow for some room to speculate. Do we think that TT Games supplied a full copy of the game, or was it a gameplay video? I think the answer really is we don't know. But if we had to guess, Nick, do you think this game is done at this point? Do you think they had, the full copy of the game ready to hand to the Minister of Justice in Brazil to render this class end rating, or do you think it was just a gameplay video?
No, I definitely don't think the full game is done, because if the full game was done, if the game was done, it would be coming out before Christmas to get the Christmas sales. They wouldn't have waited until spring. That would make no sense if this game was done. I think what this tells us is what I said. I think this game is in an advanced state. I still believe that this game is close to being finished. I think those tweets from the developers over the last week or two kind of pushes towards that notion. So yeah, I definitely think this game is in a very advanced state where they are comfortable compiling this sort of footage to show off for rating systems, but I just don't think this game is done, because that would be a horrible way to conduct your business if you were just choosing to miss out on Christmas sales. That would be a horrible decision.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people have been asking, what is the correlation between getting a rating and then the release date of the game? And the truth is, guys, that there is actually zero correlation between the two. Recall, there have been games which have received a rating that never eventually even released. So once you apply for a rating, you don't even have to go all the way and release your game. Now, you can look at general market trends. You would have to hire an analyst to do that. We didn't, go through and look at the correlation between every release date announcement and, the rating issuance. However, we can say, based on the context here, Nick, you mentioned something that I want to talk about now. Speaking about that context, these leakers. What leakers are we talking about here?
There are two notable ones. The first one I want to talk about, Andreas, is Roberto Serrano. Now, what do we know about Roberto Serrano, and what did he tweet out in regards to LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga being at the Game Awards?
So Roberto Serrano has made the call that LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga will be announcing a release date at the Game Awards later on today. Roberto Serrano, when we're looking at his track record, pursuant to a journalist website, Screen Rant, he apparently has a hit or miss record when it comes to leaks. Nonetheless, this guy, Roberto Serrano, has been in the gaming press on almost a monthly basis, if not more, with his takes. He's done a lot of things, from leaking consoles to game details to release dates entirely. So it's kind of a coin flip as to whether or not his prediction will be true. Kind of hard to say when you have, a source saying that he's hit or miss, but nonetheless, it's smoke surrounding this event. And he's not the only leaker that's saying this, right?
No, I will say, though, in regards to Roberto Serrano, he did cover his ass a little bit in his tweet by saying, in parentheses, most likely to be revealed, when in his tweet about LEGO Star Wars. He had a separate tweet where he was talking about games that he's, 100% confident will be there, and then he had a subtweet that was, most likely will be there, and that was on it. I will say, if he's right about what he thinks is going to be at this Game Awards tomorrow, this show could, or, later on today, tomorrow at the time of this filming, but this show could be an absolute banger if he's right. There's a lot of big titles that he's floating around out there. Now, the other person we want to talk about is Maro NL. He quote tweeted an article from an Italian Twitter account, and he said, "Watch the Game Awards this Thursday for the release date reveal." He's not speculating. He's saying that the game is going to be there. That's a pretty strong statement to make. He also then later on in a reply says, obviously, I don't know the full Game Awards schedule. He kind of backpedals a little bit. But he says, but there is movement in the store's listing, so an update on the game at the Game Awards makes the most sense. It's not 100% confirmed, though, so he kind of does backpedal a little bit. But this is another guy who is, quote-unquote, an insider when it comes to the gaming industry, who's claiming that this game is going to be at the Game Awards later on today. Now, as far as his credibility, kind of like Roberto Serrano, it's pretty hit and miss. There is this now infamous tweet about the game showcase back in spring, and he said that LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga was going to be a part of the spring showcase, and obviously we all know, if you've seen our rant, game wasn't there. But there was a lot of smoke going into that event, if you remember, Andreas, that LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga was going to be at that. I don't know if you remember that. There was a lot of of this hype generating, and it kind of feels the same going into this Game Awards. There's a lot of this kind of artificial hype that's building that this game is going to be at this event later today. And I kind of feel like we are on track to be disappointed again. So I guess what I will say before I turn this over to you is, no matter what these leakers are saying, do not get your hopes up. It is not confirmed. Wait until we watch the Game Awards. Watch the show with your expectations set at 0. If you have not learned that with this game at this point, I can't help you. But please do not go into the Game Awards expecting to see anything from this game.
Yeah. I think, Nick, you really pointed out the biggest thing here, and that is that one tweet where you have, Mauro, saying that this game was going to be at the spring showcase, right? Everybody knew how disappointing it was to show up with those sort of expectations and have them crushed. Try not to do the same thing with this event. Instead, I want to take all of these tips, the Brazilian rating release, the smoke, and sort of keep them as a reminder that this game is happening. This game is coming. It might not come today. It might not have a release date today. However, it is coming nonetheless, and we should all, remain hopeful that this game will eventually be releasing in the window that they have set, in a quality that is what is expected of TT Games. Let Nick and I know what you guys think of these tips and of these leakers. Do you think they're legit? Do you think they're complete bullshit? and let us know what you think about this whole Brazilian games rating thing. It was a bit fun to be poking around their rating system and see how it works over downstairs in Brazil. As always, you guys are always welcome to provide your thoughts in the comments down below, and also supply us with your Q&A questions down below for a chance to win a brand new Lego set. The exact Lego set will be a mystery until we do announce that at the second Q&A that we do host here on the channel. Make sure that you like this video, comment down below with your Q&A question, and subscribe to the channel for a chance to win. Thank you all so much for watching. That's going to do it for this one, and as always, we will see you all next time.